Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Pricing for Associations podcast, where we give away all of our knowledge on pricing and value strategy for your association. I'm Dr. Michael Tazzonetti. I'm a certified association executive and a certified pricing professional, and I'm the founder and CEO at pricingforassociations.com, where we guide associations just like yours forward in their pricing and value strategy. So today I'm answering a question from an association pro. If you have a question and you'd like for me to answer it on a future episode of the podcast, just head to pricingforassociations.com/podcast and you can submit your question there, and I will be sure to answer it in the coming weeks. Please remember that as I answer this question, this is general advice. It is not specific consulting recommendations. So take what we share as a learning opportunity, not necessarily the exact path forward for your organization. Okay. All right. So today's question is, how do we price during inflation? Should we be raising our prices? And if so, how do we communicate this to our audience? This is a phenomenal question. Currently, as I'm recording this, it is February of 2023, and we have been going through inflation for the past year. And we know that this is a normal thing. We're not even going to make it political on this podcast. We have recessions, inflation, all of these things kind of come and go about every decade. It's just a normal part of economics and how our country operates. So, with that, how do we respond, whether it's right now in 2023 or if you happen to be listening to this in the future and we're dealing with it at another time? So here's what I have to say. I have a few things to say about pricing during inflation and how to operate. The first thing is, I do not believe in automatically raising your price because we are in an inflammatory period where we have inflation. Now, that might sound controversial. It's, hey, our costs are up and inflation is up, 9 or 10 or 11% over the past year. I get that. But if you actually look by industry, there are certain industries where it's up way more. There are certain ones where it's not up that high. That is an average. So what we've been seeing over 2022 and in 2023 so far is things like airlines, so traveling on airlines, gas, things like that are all up about 30-40%. But things like education, which is a lot of what associations do, is only up about 1, 2, 3%. So we can't, first of all, just take the 9% or 10% and say, we're just going to increase our price by 10%. Now, we do need to look at our costs. Are our costs going up? So things like an event, therefore, right? Pulling off an event is going to cost more money. Shipping is going to cost more money. Traveling to the conference, but it's also going to cost more for your attendees to get there and your speakers and your sponsors to get there. So do put all that into your event registration fee, knowing that they have other costs that are astronomically higher? The other thing that I like to say is, are you likewise going to lower your price when we're in a time of economic downturn, where maybe we are in a recession and the costs of things goes down? Are you going to reduce your price? Probably not. At best, during, let's say, COVID, for example, which was different, that was a global pandemic, you probably tried to give away some things for free with digital education. We couldn't meet in person, but if we could have, you wouldn't have given that away for free because you have real costs of putting on an event. So, with that, here's what I do recommend. This is what I think we should do. I think we need to be doing value-based pricing. So we don't price based on inflation, recession, good times, bad times in our economy. That is a consideration of what is your what I would call your pricing floor, meaning the lowest that you would price. You need to have enough to cover your direct costs, indirect costs, fixed costs, variable costs, right? We're going back to CAE study group days for those of you who are also a CAE. We have to understand those costs and make sure that we're making money. But when we price based on the value that's given and the transformation, that allows us to justify the price even more. So instead of going to our members and saying, hey, inflation's hitting all of us, so we're just going to go up 10%. Your $5,000 a year corporate or organizational membership is now $5,500. That's not going to sit well. You're probably going to have a retention issue. You might, end up having a long-term issue there. What is better is to say, hey, we've added value again, whether it's, we're now recording these things at the live event and we're putting them into a portal for members only. So if you miss the live event, we're going to trickle out a couple of the talks, and that's available in the member portal, for 30 days at a time. And we're going to put out a new talk every month. So you're going to get 12 talks a year if you couldn't make it to the conference. And in addition to that, inflation's hitting us. So we're, going here. But the point is, anchor it more on value, not on inflation. Now, again, I know that's like the knee jerk reaction, but I promise that, during COVID, a lot of people just did knee jerk things. They gave a lot of things away for free. And then I was saying, don't do that. And then people had a hard time recovering from that in the 1, 2, and 3 years now post COVID. Well, really 2 years post COVID. Um, so I'm saying that to say, trust me when I say, don't just increase based on inflation, because likewise, I think some people are going to end up having issues where their bottom line is very negatively impacted. So hopefully that helps answer. Focus on value. Focus on what can you add and what can you enhance. It may not be something brand new. Could you enhance? Could you give more time for something? Could you do more resources for something to also help justify the price increase? I've never gotten a letter from Netflix, Hulu, Starbucks, anything saying we're raising your price because of inflation. What they say is we've added programming, we've added value, we're adding new things to our menu, or we're increasing the benefits for employees. It's all value driven, and then they raise the price. So with that, focus on value. If you don't know how to do that, we're here to help. So of course you can always reach out to us. If you are, first of all, thank you for joining us, and I hope that you found this content valuable. If you are looking for more content specifically on pricing and value strategy for associations, you can follow along on our YouTube channel, which is Pricing for Associations, our blog, pricingforassociations.com/blog, or on LinkedIn. Also, again, if you'd like to submit a question, feel free to do that at pricingforassociations.com/podcast. And until next time, we look forward to delivering great value, great free educational content. If you'd like to set up a sales call with us to discuss your pricing and value needs, if you don't know how to communicate based on the value, we're here to help. You can head to pricingforassociations.com/contact, and we will set up a sales call with you in the next couple of weeks so that we can help your association out. Continue to have a great day, and thank you for joining us.